Welcome to the fifth installment of MATC Now. I'm James Charles, and today we'll look into manufacturing maintenance, as well as learn about a community business that will soon close its doors with my co-host, Mr. Roger Plath. We'll also check in and see what Chef Ailin is making for us in the kitchen. All this and more coming up on MATC Now. Welcome to this week's episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles, and today I'm joined by Mr. Roger Plath, the District Manager of Tutoring Services and Academic Support. How are you today, Roger?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent. Now, Roger, briefly tell us about what you do for us here on the campus.
Well, as Manager of Tutoring Services, our goal is to help students succeed, and we do that through all kinds of tutoring, face-to-face, online, in-class tutoring, and we also have 6 academic support centers on different campuses where students can come and learn on their own speed, with our help too.
Excellent. Help is available. Very fascinating. We'll catch up with you in a bit here, but first, let's see what our field correspondent Jennifer Gregorich has to show us in the We Are Still Here art gallery located here on campus.
M175 Art Gallery. And in just a bit, we'll be meeting with the photographer whose work is currently being shown. We'll see you in a bit.
All right. Well, I can't wait to learn more about that later. Let's take a look now at what student producers Blue Thompson and Carlos Anderson discovered while at Lopez Bakery. And then we'll run over to meet the Marquette University cross-country team with Sam Bussey.
After 50 years of serving the community, Lopez Bakery, a family-owned, operated bakery, has sadly announced the closing of their business.
Well, actually, it wasn't my business to start. It was a family business which was founded by my father back in 1967. He immigrated from Mexico, saved up a little bit of money working odd jobs, and opened his first business in 1973.
The Lopez Bakery helped their Hispanic employees venture off into their own businesses and careers.
When we started in 1973, we were the only Latino bakery in the city. And a lot of the bakers that actually went on to work at other bakeries at one point worked with us. So, we feel we've spread our seeds, so to say, around, the community.
Lopez Bakery is located on historic Milson Street and is known for its Mexican cakes, cookies, breads, and tamales. Well, this was a hard, stressful decision to make. They are blessed and forever grateful for the support of their community throughout the years of them being open in business.
Loss, maybe some regret, a little bit of relief, and just a lot of sentiment. It's a milestone. I mean, for anything to last 50 years, especially a business, it's kind of unheard of. Especially in these times where you have a lot of tech companies that are here one day, gone another day. Something that's stable and consistent is what people need.
The Lopez Bakery will remain open until the business is sold and is still accepting customers during the store hours.
Marquette University is widely known for its basketball program, but they are home to numerous NCAA sports teams like track and field and cross country.
I recently started coaching at Marquette this season after being away from the university for a few years. I was a student athlete at Marquette from 2013 to 2018, and I returned to the university to help out as a coach this season. I was looking forward to sort of getting back involved and looking for a way to give back to the student athletes and to the program that I felt gave so much to me.
Being a student comes with a lot of responsibilities. Now imagine competing at a collegiate level on top of your personal life and academic studies.
The students are facing coursework, they're facing practice, they're facing treatment, they're facing maybe a part-time job, maybe community service opportunities. These kids have a lot on their plates, so I think really that balance of schedules and being able to juggle all of the things going on is the biggest and most challenging task.
While students are responsible for their performance in the classroom and in competition, they aren't in it alone. Marquette accommodates student athletes in a variety of ways.
I think Marquette does a really great job for the student athletes. They provide a lot of academic support. They provide support for mental health, support for physical health. They also just provide a great community of people. No student athlete is let to fall in the cracks. There's always someone who's on top of them in terms of making sure their work is done, making sure they're meeting their commitments, and sort of providing that community and that team element that makes them feel supported at school.
Student athletes don't just progress in the classroom and their athletics. They also grow as individuals in their community.
In addition to progressing in their sport, whether that's PRing, whether that's running farther than they've ever run before, whether that's hitting a mileage goal for the week they've never hit before, those are amazing accomplishments, but also seeing how they face challenges, how they balance everything going on in their life, how they're able to hold themselves with character and poise in challenging environments. I think that's a really, really rewarding aspect of being a coach.
While being a student athlete comes with a lot of challenges, athletes gain a community of like-minded individuals and the opportunity to grow in many aspects of their life.
I tell you, it is always difficult to see another local business go under.
However, seeing the people run to better themselves does bring a smile to my face.
I have to agree. Now let's check in with our field correspondent, Jennifer Gregorich, and she's going to tell us more about the We Are Still Here art gallery here at MATC.
Hey guys, we're at the MATC Art Gallery, located in room M175 of the M building. Many different art exhibits rotate through this space each semester. The current exhibit is called We Are Still Here, a collection of photographs and indigenous regalia. I'm joined today with Clarissa Friday, the photographer of this exhibit. How are you doing today, Clarissa?
Minuavan, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can you tell me what this exhibit is about?
This exhibit is to highlight that Native Americans are very much modern day people. We are not just historical people, but we very much participate in today's society.
Very interesting. Now you have beautiful photos all against the walls. Can you tell me a bit about the ones that were by?
This image was created at the Minokino Powwow, located in Carter, Wisconsin. This past year, I noticed this female in her attire wearing a more modern day ribbon dress, and I asked her if she was willing to pose for a portrait.
Very interesting. Now, could you tell me a little bit more about this one?
This one was created at the MATC Powwow, and this gentleman is wearing a men's traditional clothing. His name is Kunubi, and I photographed him during that powwow when I pulled him aside and asked him if he was also willing to pose for a portrait.
Interesting. Now this next photo, he has a very striking pose. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yes, this actually is a portrait of my younger sibling. His name is Shigoni, and he is also a men's traditional dancer. And the beadwork that you see here is beadwork that he himself created, which is often found in regalia.
Amazing. And this next photo, can you tell me a bit about what you captured?
So here is a female dancer. She is wearing jingle dress attire, regalia, and she is also a United States Army vet. In the powwow circle, veterans are highly regarded, and you'll often find them carrying in the flags at the grand entry of each powwow.
Very fascinating. Now, what inspired you to create this exhibit?
I think it's important to understand that Native Americans, not all Native Americans, participate in powwows or dance, but over my life, I have been to a powwow almost every year of my life. During that time and during my photography journey, I have photographed. It's been a journey for me to photograph my culture and my people, so it's been a safe place for me to explore my photography.
That's amazing. I love your work. You have a beautiful curation here. Thank you so much for joining us, Clarissa. If you would love to see Clarissa's work, we are still here. Will be shown at the M175 art exhibit at the MATC Art Gallery. It is here till the end of the semester. Back to you in the studio.
So much talent. Those pieces are just breathtaking.
I'm going to have to check that out.
All right, but first, let's check out the manufacturing maintenance program with Shannon O'Dwyer and Alex Calhari. Then we'll join Ailin Perez to get a greater appreciation of the MATC tutoring services with Geneva Jones.
Welcome to the Manufacturing Maintenance Program at the MATC Milwaukee campus. Head of the department, Patrick Hansen, believes the maintenance program is like no other in STEM.
This program takes a student from an entry-level position down to the basics. This is how to use basic tools, basic hand tools, basic power tools, and brings that student all the way up through to a basis in working on automated machines.
Many of the automated machines that the manufacturing students work on use a hydraulic system.
Hydraulics is the movement of fluid to do work, to create force. So we use hydraulics in just about everything and don't even realize that we do it, because hydraulics is what makes water come out of your faucet, basically. So anytime fluid is moving inside a work environment, whether it's in a crane, a press, an automated machine, or a faucet in your house, or a cooling system in your car, that's a form of hydraulics.
Students in the STEM programs all over MATC gain hands-on experience that prepare them for the field. Many of them begin working in their fields before they finish their classes.
I'm able to go out on my own, assess jobs, know what I need for that job, and execute the job. And it's giving me more skills when it comes to troubleshooting. And I got a lot of nice journeymen that I work around. Real big help.
About 50% of the classwork in the manufacturing maintenance program is split between lectures and hands-on experience repairing and setting up hydraulic systems.
The advice that I would give students coming into the program is come in with an open mind, be ready to learn, be ready to take down notes and information. And whenever you're in the field, just stay safe and make sure you're paying attention to everything that's going on around you.
Safety is a key element within manufacturing. Students are taught lockout, tagout when operating to make sure that they operate safely, and they are also required to wear safety glasses and hard hats if they're working on rigging or overhead dangers.
This program differs from a lot of the STEM programs because we concentrate on the repair aspect of the equipment versus the programming aspect of the equipment. So you can take PLC courses, programming courses, and engineering courses that will focus on the software and how to make everything talk to each other and all that interconnectivity. Our program, the maintenance program, concentrates on actually repairing that once it's already set up.
The Manufacturing Maintenance Program offers a variety of opportunities for students to improve and craft their skills and are often able to gain employment quickly after school.
With the onset of automation in manufacturing, maintenance technicians now have to have a firm grasp of all the automation also. So our techs come out of school very well-rounded, and they're grabbed up before they actually graduate. We hardly have, well, honestly, at this point in time, we don't have anybody who wants a job unemployed.
MATC has a lot to offer, from student accommodations to tutoring services. The downtown's tutoring office is located in C286. Here you'll meet nice, open-minded, and ready to help staff such as Geneva Jones. Geneva is considered one of the greats in tutoring services.
The mission for tutoring service is to help these students get really what they come here to get, to make it across that threshold. For example, if they have a question or a doubt, if they're going into the class and they have some weaknesses, we want them to know that they can be as successful even though they may have a longer or more bumpy road to travel. Please see us so that we can get them in contact with people that can help. The satisfaction that I get from helping the students is seeing a light bulb come on, is seeing that when they come into our office, for those that do, and they're not at their best, you know, they've gotten the runaround, we help them to leave with a smile. We don't pass them off to someone feeling the same way that we received them. We pass them off to someone where they feel, oh, okay, I think I'm going to someone that can help me, or I better understand the words to use to get to where I need to go.
Geneva was a student at MATC seeking help from tutoring services. She then later was inspired to become a tutor herself.
The light bulb comes on for me when I can do that, and I know I have because they'll leave with a smile, sometimes even a hug, you know. So that's when I know I've done. And then they come back. They come back and they invite us to their ceremonies, or they come back just to say hello when they're coming in for a class. So that really does help me. People who have, they have a much bumpier road, like myself when I started, and someone gave me a break. So I like it for that reason, because you could be discouraged very early.
Seeking advice or help is never easy, but Geneva and the tutoring services crew encourage students to stop in to help guide you to the next steps in your educational career at MATC. Tutoring is available in person and online. Choose what's right for you and let one of the greatest of tutors do the rest.
It takes a lot of guts to come into a place and be vulnerable and say, hey, I don't have what I should or what you think I should, but I'm asking for help. So, I take that very personally.
The tutoring service office is open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Fridays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. with a variety of staff, including student tutors that are willing to show students the ropes from any subject you strive to be better at.
Imagine how much effort is required to fix an appliance or go to tutoring constantly with a regular course load. Speaking of tutoring, we're very excited today to welcome our guest, Christina Johnson, who is the coordinator of tutoring services and academic support. How are you today, Christina?
I am wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for coming here with us today, and we just want to ask you briefly, what is your role here on campus?
Sure. I get to do the fun part of tutoring services and academic support. I get to hire the tutors. A lot of our tutors are students here or graduates. We also, of course, have returning, retired teachers, and we have a couple PhDs who are also tutors, but predominantly they're students. So I get to meet the students and hire them. Roger gets to do the behind-the-scenes work of, managing the spaces and doing our budget.
Right, of course.
Now, what kind of tutors, what subjects or what programs do you get most?
Oh, math. Always math, right? That is predominantly always our subject. But we do have other tutors, of course. For example, we are actually working on getting TV tutors for this program this semester. Yep, so we do have program tutors. We also try to make sure we have general education tutors, English, math, some science, even though that's not considered gen ed anymore, at all of the regionals and at our labs downtown. Make sure students have access to everything they might need.
Cool.
Right. Now, when should a student come to you? Beginning of the semester or midway through, or failing the first test? When's the best time to come for help?
Absolutely early in the semester. Please don't wait until you're panicked and you're failing. We may not be able to help by that point, but please come in early, even if you don't think you need it. I like to say, we're a tool in your toolbox.
Right.
We just talked about manufacturing. You wouldn't try to fix a car without wrenches or a tire iron,
yes.
right? Or cook a dinner without pots and pans. So, use us. We're a tool in your toolbox. So come down and see us right away.
Now, does tutoring actually improve their grades, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. There are studies that show you can do up to a grade better, but you have to come consistently. We welcome that. We want you to come be a regular so we know your name. Welcome you back the next semester as well.
Okay.
Great. Now, being tutors, do you all have to stay kind of with current trends of what's going on in education? There's old math, new math, things are constantly changing.
Yes, we do actually have new math here at MATC. It's not really new anymore. We've had it a few years. But yes, our tutors get trained specifically in what they're going to be tutoring. We want them to be able to work with the students and the instructor and make sure everything is understood completely. We also do train our tutors every semester. We bring them in before the start of school, and we just talk to them about, how do you manage a session if you have too many students in your mind to help?
Right.
How do you manage that? We help them work through that. So
now, a lot of students are taking online courses. Do you do tutoring in that mode too?
We actually do. Our predominant source of online right now is our service NetTutor. We deliberately brought that in because we know students like to study at all hours of the day and night and over holidays, and we don't have staff or tutors here at those times. So we brought that in to fill that gap. We also do have select tutors who tutor online. Nursing tutors especially tutor online because they are just insanely busy and they don't have time necessarily to come down to campus. So.
All right, and final thoughts, help with ESL, folks that may have come from another place, speak another language?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We don't have any specialists in that arena, but we do have very patient tutors who can help with reading and writing and just help make that language so much better.
All right, and it looks like both of you still come to work every day with a smile on your face, helping students out.
You got it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Christina, I want to thank you for joining us here today. It was very informative learning about tutoring services and academic support here on our campus.
Wonderful.
All right, it was great to have you both here. Now, I don't know about you, but I could go for something sweet. And just in time, Chef Ailin seems to be crafting a wonderful dessert here in our kitchen. Let's go take a look.
Thank you guys, Chef Ailin here with a new recipe. It's around the start of December and the start of the holidays. With many leftovers, you probably don't know what to do with them, but don't worry. Today I'm here to show you the perfect cake pop recipe you can make with any leftover cake. For this recipe, you'll need 15-ounce box cake mix, chocolate melting wafers, buttercream frosting, sprinkles, or your choice of decorations. So I already have my cake mix prepared, and as you can see, I used yellow cake, but you can use any flavors that are available to you at the store. What you're going to do is basically destroy the cake entirely, and I already did that earlier. That was really fun. It should look something like this. Next, you're going to want to grab your buttercream frosting. And if it's more convenient for you, you can buy it at the store, but I already have it made. A little bit goes a long way, so 1 to 2 spoonfuls is just enough. So now you're just going to mix it up real good, and it should look it should have like a consistency of kinetic sand. Did anyone else love playing with kinetic sand as a kid? Because I loved it. And this is definitely bringing back childhood memories. Now that it's all mixed up as so, you're gonna grab another spoon, or you can use the same spoon, but I like this one because it has pretty colors. And you're just gonna grab a spoonful and just roll it. You're gonna want to like squish it in there so it mixes very well. You're gonna roll them into little balls. All right, now that isn't the perfect ball, but we're gonna use a little bit more of frosting just so it sticks all together very well. All right, there you go, and it should be really sticky now and very good to roll. All right. All right. And now that you have your 2 balls already rolled, you're gonna put them in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes. Lucky enough for us, we don't have to wait that long because I already have some made right here. Now, you're gonna, once your chocolate is melting, which I already have right here, you can add like food coloring to it, which I did add blue because blue is my favorite color. You're gonna grab a cake pop and you're just gonna dip it in there gently. Now, the ball is gonna tend to fall over like it just did, and honestly, that's fine. You can just continue covering it and just poke it again. Lift it up, shake it around, place it back in there, and the fun part is sprinkles. Now, another local chef did say that these were called jammies. I'm not really sure, but that's a funny word. Now we're gonna grab another cake pop and do the exact same thing. You can make as many as you'd like. Now the technique that we're using is the simmer boiler method, which is the water in the bottom and the chocolate melting on top. And then we're gonna put this back on here, sprinkle some more, and then you're gonna pop them in the fridge again for another 10 to 15 minutes. Once again, we don't have to wait that long because I already made some right here. Look at that, looks really good. The best part of this recipe is how inexpensive this was. But let's try it now, see if it lives up to it. Super tasty. Don't spend money on one cake pop when you can make a whole batch for the exact same price. Well guys, that's all the time we have left for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Back to you guys in the studio.
Wow, what a simple and delicious way to use up leftover cake. Now let's join James for the MATC Minute and see what events are soon to happen. And be aware, this MATC Minute briefly covers suicide.
Your mental health matters. Learn how to see the signs of self-harm and suicide before a crisis situation. Potentially save someone in your community from injuring themselves with the MATC Counseling and Psychological Services. A virtual QPR training is being held on Wednesday, December 6th from 9 to 10:15 a.m. on Zoom. Respiratory disease season is in full swing again. Read the symptom guide on MATC's website to figure out what is happening to your body. Consider vaccination and other preventative measures like covering your nose and mouth while sneezing or coughing, washing your hands, and/or wearing a mask. Learn about student resources, campus community events, games, and giveaways with the Student Life Through Community Days. Just go to the MEC1 campus lower lobby on December 5th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Hey, need a teeth cleaning? Bring your MATC ID to the Dental Hygiene Program Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. to sign up for a free cleaning and other services at a fair price.
Thank you, James. Here at Milwaukee PBS, we have a variety of staff members who are willing to help our TV students. Let's see what insight student producer Ivan Aguila-Garcia has for us.
Stand Lexi by, ready camera 2.
Stand by.
Take 2, cue.
Good evening.
and welcome to the December issue of Black Nouveau. I'm Alexandria Mack, one of your producers.
Milwaukee PBS employs some of the most unique storytellers in the city. Among all is producer Alexandria Mack.
I've been a producer at PBS for the last 4.5 years. So in my current position, I mainly produce for the show Black Nouveau, where each month I contribute a segment on something going on in the community, whether it be an event, a person. It could be about difficulty that's happened in the African American community. It also could be the successes of people who are doing good things. I also am a producer of our podcast, Speaking Of, where we do additional stories in audio form. I pursued a career as a producer because I've always loved telling stories, and the unique thing about being a producer here at Milwaukee PBS is so many of our stories are community stories. And in my previous job, I sat behind a desk all day, and I really missed getting out in the community and learning more about the people in the city around us. So that's what brought me here.
Alexandria continues to sharpen her craft through projects and uses different forms of media to achieve this.
Right now, I'm working on our podcast, Speaking Of, which will air our new season in February, and that's specifically focusing on the domestic violence crisis here in Milwaukee. I'm also working on a segment for our gospel special that will air in February, and then obviously our monthly episodes, so there's always something for the segments each month.
Alexandria strives to reach out to the Milwaukee community with stories from the heart of it.
When I think of my favorite stories I've done since being here, I think one that comes to mind in particular was the Dear Chloe story. It was a woman created this project for Black women and girls to write about the stories they've had with being bullied. And I got to interview the creator, who's an adult woman, but I also got to interview 2 young girls who were in middle school about their own experience being bullied. I was bullied in elementary school. It was a really emotional piece, but I just remember sharing my story with them afterward. And it felt like a full circle moment. I was also pregnant at the time with a little girl, so when I was, hearing about their experiences, I just kept thinking, I really hope that my daughter doesn't have to go through this, even though I myself went through it. But that was a really important piece to me, and it was my first Emmy nomination as well. And I'm always happy not because just the award itself, but just that it was an important story.
Alexandria has been at PBS for 4.5 years and has had a huge impact, not only at the station, but on the community as well.
If I could give any advice to students, I would say hone your craft and dream big. I don't think any dream is too big. I think often here in Milwaukee, young people especially, they can feel discouraged or feel like they have to go travel the world to do all these grand things. But in my experience, I know so many people that have found so much success here with what they've been able to do, and it's truly because they love what they do and they want to tell stories. So be connected to your community and really just grow in your love and your passion for whatever it is you want to pursue. You can have success anywhere. It's really just about your discipline and commitment.
That sounds like a very enriching career path. Now let's join student producer Robin Jackson for another hidden Gem KE.
I'm student producer Robin Jackson, and this is another hidden Gem KE. I'm here at Hawthorne Glen, an outdoor education center here in Milwaukee. Let's go in and take a look. The goal of Hawthorne Glen is to guide learners of all ages in developing awareness, knowledge, and commitment to the natural world around them. The grounds are filled with native plants and wild animals spread along 25 acres of woodland, prairie, fen, and open space. It was given its name after the owners discovered the grounds filled with hawthorn trees. It was a lot of work reforming the area, but the results are truly outstanding. Now here we are in the Little Nature Museum, home to many native animals, like this gentleman right here. Over 12,000 children visit each year with their schools and families to attend annual events, go on a hike, or to see animals within the Glen. It's a place for Scouts to learn about and assist in outdoor education programs and community service projects that are operated by the Milwaukee Recreation. So if you're missing the beauty of nature during these winter months, come visit Hawthorne Glen and see everything it has to offer. I'm student producer Robin Jackson, and this has been another Hidden Gem KE.
That looks like an interesting place and kind of reminds me of places I might have gone as a Boy Scout growing up back in Indiana. And it's a reminder to all of us to get out into nature, get away from our climate-controlled offices and our houses, and just get out there and enjoy what God has given us. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you once again to Roger for joining me and to Miss Chris here.
Yeah, well, great to be here.
Yes, thanks, and we'll have you back again.
Yeah, please do.
And to thank you to all of our viewers out there for joining us for MATC Now Season 8. I'm your host, James Charles. We'll see you next week.